1.4 The millennials tend to be hipsters. In the 1960s, there were hippies. In 2014, there are hipsters. The hippies were weak and submissive people who want to believe that they are rebels. Some U.S. history. JFK stood up to the Soviets. The Soviets did not expect a U.S. president to act with such principle. But he did. A year later, a self-described communist, Lee Harvey Oswald, shot Kennedy. Oswald had lived in the Soviet Union, this at a time when no one in the West was even allowed in the Soviet Union. Oswald spoke Russian. He had a military background. Oswald shot Kennedy. This was the Soviet Union's way of saying, if you stand up to us, we will kill you. The American people got the message. They submitted. They became hippies, self-described anti-capitalists, screw-ups, druggies, delinquents, losers. But people don't want to believe that they are losers. So the hippies told themselves that they were standing up to Richard Nixon, or a cranky grandparent with antiquated views about race, or some such. The hippies known to me personally all, without exception, became real estate salesmen, stockbrokers, and otherwise parasites of a distinctively corporatist kind, showing that hippiedom isn't about principles. It's about fraud, losers pretending to be winners and, to that end, duly warping the moral and evidential norms with respect to which they fell short. The hippie is not a liar, since for him there is no distinction between truth and falsehood and therefore no distinction between right and wrong. Hipsters are hippies who, unlike hippies, don't quite know what it is that they are supposed to be pretending to be. The hippie had a stable and consistent trap. Down with the man. Free love. Free everything. Some of these conceits had merit, even though the hippie believed in each of them far less than did his parents. In fact, the hippie represents the corporatization of all values. Hippiedom was a way for a previously relatively isolated corporate environment to impose its soullessness on society as a whole. But if the hippie is a dwarf, the hipster is a microbe. The hipster has no consistent talking points. Also, the hippie was almost always heterosexual and had no wish to consolidate the two genders. In fact, the hippie male tended to be aggressively, ravenously heterosexual. His very reason for being a hippie was to gratify primal sexual urges. The hipster on the other hand tends to be pansexual or homosexual,